remember the day I realized that I was not a part of you. It was around 10 in the afternoon and your hair was doing that weird halo thing it does. Or was it tied up in a knot starting just below the bridge of your nose? Were there clutches hanging down the sides of your face like the clumps of whiskers in a Chinese beard? Come to think of it, you always were an old man inside and half Chinese. I lit a paper lantern. It floated downriver to your homestead where an asteroid burnt a hole across the sky. Every time I felt you up, there was an act of giving taking place. It was a love thing, I'm told. Fried wontons make me happy to think I'm living my life the wrong way. But honestly, I can't remember what you look like anymore. It's like I try, I truly do, but there's this fuzzy face over your hips and your lips, as if you were on Cops at one time. Wait, is that what this is all about? Was I on Cops at one time? Shit, my grandma is going to be so disappointed in me when I confess that Carl Lewis is not the man I thought he was when I asked her to vote for him that one Thanksgiving dinner in 1992. I remember everyone's jaws dropped to the ground when Nana made a bunch of plastic buttons with her bare hand. The same hands that pinched my face when all of us were giants eating green beans full of real-life bacon bits. Slices of cranberry sauce the size of my ribcage jiggled in place so that years later I swore I had seen a replica of the Red Sea. A football in the backyard nails me in the head because I'm just running to the goal line without the ball. My grandpa has guns for arms and ammo for tattoos, marking shoulder pads like 8-inch cleats into the tops of your hands, which will shatter ligaments in your eardrums due to the fact these bullets are no longer made of lead, for sure. Papa doesn't say too much, but when he does, you know it ain't bullshit. Do you understand what it's like to watch polka on a plasma TV? Sometimes it's like I can't get ahead even though my chin is on the ground. Please get your foot off my chin. Thanks. That feels right. And thanks for the money in advance. You have to understand that there is a warmth around my eyeballs the likes of which words cannot cool down. Why don't you come over for brunch yesterday? I would have explained to you that you need to bring your birthday suit if you want to play cornhole. We'll listen to Roy Rogers and Merle Haggard by the above-ground pool, or maybe drink some soy sauce lattes beneath my brand new assortment of decorative palm tree fronds. What's more is, I care about you. It's true. And if something were to happen, I would probably wander around your neighborhood with no watch on, yelling, "Que hora es mi amigo comida?" for hours on end because I like you. Trust me, there's more to me than meets the eye for you, and more for me too, when we get to the house on the hill. You'll wait. You'll see. Just wait. We'll give each other haircuts and make ice cream sandwiches on lemon squares in the candy machine. Let it melt over peach cobbler in front of everyone the way the Dutch oven is hot as the iron is to ice, as hot as to cold melting your hair after dark is the sky that just might begin to howl Long John, long before Long John Silver passes away behind the bleachers, stinking of death, the way you'll never catch me smoking, let alone snorkeling, not even today, not even ever. So I lay down at the center of the 50-yard line and stare up at the stars thinking, it's so weird how the universe was built for me. It's a shiny little place. And by the way, have you seen my halo? It's a brand new kind of shooting star. That's one thing. The word in DM. This is for sale, by the way. Sorry. When you left for work, you forgot to say goodbye. Or maybe you didn't. You were wearing a pantsuit. What's up with the pantsuits lately? I have to tell you, the mail doesn't come anymore. Or maybe it comes, but there's a hole in our mailbox, so maybe it goes to the other side of the world. I heard there's a war on there. I also heard the war came through our mailbox. They say the mailmen are scared to go out in this economic climate. It's been raining a lot, too, reminding something fierce. All the mailwomen are dead, for instance. And there's no one at the post office when you need to vent your frustration. Just a note on the door. If you're looking for the mail, look around you, fool. There's a war on. Duck. So I duck, and a rocket-propelled grenade crashes through the bulletproof glass. Sounds like a D minor, I think, wetting my finger to test the wind. The post office explodes, so I lie down in a crater burning and wonder where time went. The mail came today. I signed for the package, a toy guitar, amp, and pedals with toy boards. I hooked up the toy and played you a little emotion. I set sail on the chord, D minor. I played it over and over. I wanted to bring it to you. I asked the mailman, could he take me there? I floated away on that little emotion. The mailman sniped me from the air. He laid me to rest in the mailbag. We flew around and sniped other mailmen from the air. We landed on your roof, careful to avoid the electric cords. We visited you at work, where you had 20 sets of hands answering 20 sets of phones with just one pantsuit. There were so many electric cords, genuine cords. I climbed out of the mailbag to bring you that little emotion. I stepped on the toy pedal and set sail on the chord in D minor. I asked you, do you like it? Do you like this chord? I think it's awesome. I looked down at my feet and shook back and forth slowly, over and over, droning, DFA, DFA, DFA. I traveled the space between us on an electric cord just to hear what you were saying, because you were speaking to 20 sets of pantsuits at once. I asked you, what's with the pantsuits lately? What did you think of the chord? Did you feel it? You laid down one of the phones, and for the first time I noticed a tiny throat hole where you could have had an Adam's apple. Did you have an Adam's apple? You were whispering, that's just a toy, you fool, it's not real. That was not a genuine emotion, not a genuine chord. You need to get a job, you fool. So I said, you don't understand, this is as real as it gets, as real as I get. I bought this toy myself and braved destruction in the face of war just to bring you this little emotion, and that's all I have to give. The phone rang. You looked at it, answered that, I said, and I'll never visit you at work again. You said goodbye. I got on the roof and surrounded by electric cords, I played the toy chord. It began to rain just as I stepped on the pedal. The mailmen stopped killing each other for a few seconds, just long enough to look at me. They said, that chord is awesome. I said, I know, you fools. I know it's awesome. It's the sound of war. I held up the guitar and said, thank you for bringing me this, finally. I broke the toy. A lightning bolt ran through my spine, and I traveled the distance between us in less time than it took to strike the chord.